of this soccer community for over 15 years. Did you ever see something like this special, a packed stadium coming here in Music City?
I have to tell you, it's surreal. What an amazing moment for the city of Nashville. We are such a great sports community, and now we get the chance to support soccer and Major League Soccer in the future. Right now, our USL team, which is a professional team, we love this game.
And when we look around the stadium, you see all of the supporters. They've been tailgating for hours. They walked into this stadium about an hour ago. It is fever pitch here in Nashville, an exciting atmosphere, and one that is unreplicated across sports.
Well, absolutely. The atmosphere was grand as I walked in 3 hours ago. They were already setting up shop. They were already getting used to this environment. The rain is not going to deter these fans. They love this game.
Absolutely. Let's look at how we got here. It's been quite a long process here in Nashville. It's not easy to build a club, but it's been a long process to get to this point. And we take a look at how we did get here back in 2016. The USL team is announced. Then John Ingram joins the ownership group in March. But that's all the administrative side. Then you got to hire a coach. You get Gary Smith, the head coach, back in April. He's been in Nashville for almost an entire year before his team takes the field. Then you got to pick the field. First Tennessee Park, announced in August of 2017. They symbolically plant the flag, and then of course Nashville is selected as the 24th MLS franchise. That's how we got here, and we are still yet to kick a ball. We are awaiting the opening kickoff as we get ready and excited for Nashville SC and Atlanta. It is the inaugural match, Nashville versus the Five Stripes of Atlanta. The fans are here, the refs are here, the players are on the field, and we are almost ready to go. Okay. Team just got on the field. Oh, we got it.
What do we have next?
Are we coming back on camera before we go out? Okay, can we not be on camera after we're off so then we can look at the monitors? Okay.
What are we hitting now? The field conditions?
Come back.
I gotcha. To her.
There is your starting 11, the first 11 players to start for Nashville SC. They will reveal their jerseys in just a moment. A little insider tip, they of course are going to be gold. As we welcome you back to First Tennessee Park, John Freeman and Ronnie Woodard. It is a monumental day for Nashville soccer, and when we do look at the weather a little bit in this one as well, between this morning and the end of the day. And Ronnie, we were looking at the squeegees on the field. There's water being pushed off. How does that affect today's matchup?
You know, I got to tell you, we're not afraid of rain. Soccer players love adverse conditions, and what you can expect is a hard-filled game. They're going to play hard. They're going to be focused. They're going to play through puddles. They're going to make mistakes. And you know what? We're going to get to see what true grit is.
You can hear the roar of the fans behind us. You know the Nashville players are amped up. They are ready to go in this one, and so are the supporters groups. The assembly and the roadies have marched into this stadium. There is nothing that is going to hold those fans back from enjoying this moment, whether it's inches of rain or a very talented Atlanta squad that is yet to take the field. What a moment this is. Just let the scene set itself. Atlanta supporters have come in droves. Over 90% of the tickets sold to this match were from addresses in Tennessee. And there they are, the supporters embracing their team for the first time this season. They get a goal. They're allowed to set smoke bombs in specific sections, so don't be surprised if you see a little bit of pyrotechnics if Nashville can score one here against their future rivals. Supporter sections were sold out weeks, even months ago. A lot of pageantry on the field as well. No umbrellas allowed in this stadium, so all ponchos, and there is the starting 11. Players that could captivate this city. Actually, those are the backups, I believe. Those are the players that will take the field later today. We're expecting that every team will empty its bench. We've been promised over 50 players in this game. Atlanta brought quite a full squad, and with the weather conditions, you're not going to want any player out there for too long. And let's go ahead and send it back to our studios. It's Katie Morgan with a weather forecast for us.
Hey there, soccer fans. Fox 17 Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan. Dedicated to be in the rain today. Unfortunately, our high chances for rain will continue through the afternoon hours. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 50s throughout the game, and we'll look at those rain chances to continue. Definitely an opportunity for a break or two in those showers, but where we do see that rain, it could come down heavy at times. Hope you stay as dry as possible. All right, let's go Nashville.
Thank you, Katie. The rain continues to fall. There are pockets on this field that are wet. You will see the ball stop in some places. We walked the field on Thursday. There's a couple patches as well that have some elevation changes where the grass from the soccer field touches the sod that's been put over the dirt of the baseball field. But all in all, pretty good conditions and an excellent atmosphere. We can't say it enough. I get chills just watching this, seeing Nashville embrace its moment. The opening kickoff, the starting lineups, and all the pageantry. It is coming up. Nashville and Atlanta, the inaugural game from Music City. It's First Tennessee Park getting ready to host the inaugural game, Nashville SC versus Atlanta United. Over 10,000 fans expected, a sold-out stadium as we get ready for the opening kickoff and welcome you back to our broadcast booth. I'm John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Woodard, the former Vanderbilt coach, SEC Coach of the Year during her time at Vandy. And Ronnie, let's take a look at our players to watch. This is an Atlanta team that is full of players that we could have picked. We picked the 18-year-old Ezequiel Barco, acquired over the offseason for $15 million. If he smiles, you'll see braces, but wow, can this teenager play.
What an unassuming superstar. Standing at 5'5" with a mouthful of braces, he can flat out play. He's deceptive, he's creative, and he could dominate the flank play today. We've got to be real careful with him.
He loves to get wide, and he loves to dribble at defenders. Should he get a shot on goal, he'll have to get it by Matt Pickens, the Human billboard. It's the first signing in Nashville SC history, the goalkeeper. He's been on all the billboards around the interstates around town. He's an awesome keeper, big, strong, and athletic and experienced.
And what a great poster child for us. He looks like the quintessential Nashville person, doesn't he? He's got the beard, he's got the look, but boy, is he a great athlete. I love the fact that we have someone with so much experience in our goal. He can play with his feet. He's a great shot stopper, and I think we might have some chances to take a look at him today.
He's going to have his hands full with an Atlanta attack. We were told that they would be offensive. Tata Martino reveals their starting lineup. 4-2-3-1 for the red and black, the 5 stripes. You expect the outside midfielders to get forward, and then look at these forwards. Almiron, Barco, Martinez.
I mean, who can we not talk about? But I particularly want to see a lot out of Almiron today. By the way, he's sharing his birthday with us today. He turns 24 years old, and boy, is he dynamic. Look for him to have the ball at his feet often.
For Nashville, they're going to bring the wings forward. This is a team that's going to play 3 in the back, but then the outside backs will play more as wings. Kosuke Kimura, the experienced wing back, but then you think these forwards are dangerous for Nashville SC.
I love Schrute. I think he's got something special when it comes to goal-scoring opportunities. Look for him to take chances. He can combine. He can take a player on, and if he gets a tiny little window, look for him to take a great look on frame.
It's the first starting lineup in Nashville SC history. What an honor for those 11. The fans continue to pack this stadium. The opening kickoff coming up from First Tennessee Park. Gary Smith. We have the official. I've got his name. On the left. Oh, I don't.
No, it's the one down, sitting.
Sitting down on the very left.
I'll look him up, but I'm pretty sure that's him. No, no. No.
I don't know.
Hang on, I'll get it for you. I got it. Give me a sec. Yes.
Are we going to have the official?
It's in the middle.
We're not doing the official, okay. There's Gary Smith. Okay, I got it.
He's the one in the glasses.
Teams out onto the field, a stirring rendition of the national anthem, and the fans on their feet as we are ready. Launch is imminent. Nashville in the gold kits for the first time will face a new rival in Atlanta United. What a moment this is. As we take a look at Tata Martino, the Atlanta United coach, former Barcelona manager, in his second year at the club. He said weather will not change his selections today, and he followed through on his promises, fielding the strongest lineup that he had of healthy players. Nashville SC is led by Gary Smith, who had a wonderful moment. That is not Gary Smith, that's assistant coach David Proctor. Gary Smith farther to the right of the camera, but Gary Smith had a moment with the fans where he went over to the supporter section, was high-fiving them, and got everybody in this stadium amped up. Gary Smith, the man whose father used to work at Arsenal, led the Colorado Rapids to the 2010 MLS Championship. Final moments, Ronnie, how do you calm your nerves if you're a Nashville player?
Well, I think you just begin the whole day by taking a look around the stadium and just take in the environment. I mean, it's electric. As you take a look around, you can just feel the energy as a player on the field. And I'm sure Nashville is going to come out flying.
Gary Smith says he's constructed a team that will be competitive. Their main goal and function is to win, and he says they are not going to back down in this contest.
Well, absolutely not. He's coming out in a 3-5-2 against one of the most attacking-minded teams in the MLS. And so I think Coach Smith is making a really strong point that we came to play, and we are going to take chances, and we're going to take risks.
Last moments before Nashville officially begins its soccer journey. There's Robin Schrute, the dangerous striker for the boys in gold. Matt Pickens, the goalkeeper. The captain today is Michael Reed. You can see him with the captain's armband. 17 in gold. The club's first ever purchase was bought from San Antonio last year. 5 goals and 4 assists for San Antonio. And here he is, the captain, and what is a special day. Gary Smith says he wants to create a culture that is the vein that runs through this organization for years to come. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for. 10,000 fans in a sold-out stadium on a stormy, drenching February afternoon await the sound that will turn a dream into reality. This city is ready for soccer. It's official. Professional soccer has arrived in Nashville. Atlanta in the black and red, and Nashville obviously in the gold, and immediately you see the effect of the field. It's going to be hard to get this ball moving quickly.
There's no doubt about it. You can see the water coming up from the ball already. And I thought it was in a little bit better shape until just a few minutes ago when we got some late showers coming in. And now it looks like the field's playing a little bit rougher than we had originally hoped.
Nashville will be attacking the side that has the sod put over the baseball infield. That's a bit of a bumpier part of it. There's better drainage on the outfield portion where the ball is now. Atlanta loves a high pressing, high flying, both defense and offense. As the challenge is coming flying in already. This is billed as a friendly. It may be far from it. Switch for James. Be a Nashville throw. Sal Zizzo, the new acquisition for Atlanta, over 160 MLS appearances. This is a Atlanta roster that is just littered with players who played both in the full U.S. men's national team and also in the youth setups, and Zizzo is one of those. Schrute trying to turn, and so far, pretty good possession from Nashville, and some calm touches in what could be a nervy environment. Cox. It's a handball. It'll be on Leandro Gonzalez Perez, the Argentinian center back. And now here's a real opportunity for Nashville to get an opportunity and a good chance on a set piece.
No doubt. This is a great early look on frame and test this back line and see what Atlanta is going to be able to do. Oh, and we play short.
Taken quickly. Dispossessed, and Zizzo on the run, being chased by James. Past the outstretched leg of Davis, and the flag is up on Martinez, the Venezuelan. You can see the dangerous attack of Atlanta. When they get the ball, this team can fly.
That was one quick counterattack, and we were lucky we caught him in an offside position. However, that was very quick. We're going to have to watch that and be very careful.
A Nashville team, average age 26 years and a month. A little over the league average in the USL of 25 years. As a foul away from the ball on the follow through, and again Nashville will be able to settle on the offensive end.
Atlanta's definitely come out with making a statement. It's a very physical presence. We're early in this match and they've already given up 2 fouls. I think they're definitely come here to make a point.
Foul went on Julian Gressil, the reigning MLS Rookie of the Year. 24-year-old German. Such an international flair on this field. If you're new to soccer, get used to it. Nashville actually has more foreign players than it does American players, representing 10 countries. One of those international players, Robin Schrute, the European, was in the Northern Ireland youth setup. Never made the full national team. Played in the Norwegian second division last year. Man taking the throw is an American, Bradley Bourgeois, the 23-year-old. Been a cagey start. And Nashville's had the majority of the possession running.
Yeah, neither team has really settled into a great rhythm yet. I think everyone's kind of working through these preseason blues and trying to figure out roles and how they're going to play.
Just because this is the starting 11 today for Nashville, don't think that it's a lock. This is a team that Gary Smith says every spot is up for grabs. He has a smaller roster, just 23 outfield players, and he says he likes that because it creates competition in practice, that everybody can almost reach out and touch the starting line.
Yeah, you know, we didn't even know the starting lineup until a few minutes before game time. It was really kept very quiet because I think that Coach Gary was trying to figure out where the pieces fit and who could put in the best 11 out there today, and I'm real excited to see this group play.
Bourgeois with Almiron on his back, dispossessed. Chris McCann connecting in the midfield. Circled all the way back to Jeff Larentowicz, the veteran on the roster. Top 5 all-time in MLS career appearances. Lob downfield for Sal Zizzo. Dispossessed by James and Davis. Launched towards the head of Robin Schrute. Out leaping Larentowicz, and Nashville a chance to counterattack. Lebo Maloto hauled down in the midfield by Leandro Gonzalez Perez. Our official today, Sorin Stoica. And it's an easy call for the former Romanian police officer. Stoica was a police officer in a small town outside of Dracula's castle.
That is an amazing storyline for the day.
There he is, now based out of Ohio. He is an MLS referee.
I love that.
It's the world's game, and it's Nashville's introduction to it. Reed, the captain. Stolen away, and Almiron on the run. Being chased by LaGrassa. Outlets left wing. Atlanta flying up the field. Chip back post. Gressil is in the area. And Pickens gratefully claims. Atlanta can go left to right. Better than any team in the country. And Ezequiel Barco getting involved early. Ball sent upfield, and Kazan has come off of his line. Beat Michael Cox through the through ball. James tugging on Gressil, and it'll be an Atlanta free kick. We talked to Gary Smith earlier this week. We sat down for a coffee with the coach, and he said he's going to press this team. And we both looked at each other and we're like, is he for real? This is the most dangerous team, the most attacking team, and the most expensive team in America. And he said he's going to come out and press, and he has held true to his word, and so far so good for Nashville in its first game.
I love that about Coach Smith. It shows me a real grit. He is not going to compromise on how he wants his Nashville SC team to play. And he's stepping out here against one of the best teams in the country, and he is going for it.
Oh, how neatly worked this is by the boys in gold. Running through was Schrute. It got trapped on the turf. But the pressing giving Atlanta a problem. Darlington Nagbe, the U.S. national team midfielder. And they switch it left side. Barco overlapping is Greg Garza. Challenge comes in, and it'll be a goal kick for Nashville.
That's some good defending there and a good tracking to end up with a goal kick out of that play. That was arguably a pretty dangerous opportunity for Atlanta.
Greg Garza, the national teamer, signed permanently in November after a loan stint, but you see the wingbacks having to get back for Nashville, and it's Kosuke Kimura, the Japanese midfielder, able to track back and deny Garza any injury.
Well, our outside wingbacks are going to have to be fit. They have a lot of ground to cover today because they've got their hands full defensively, and then we're going to rely on them to be able to generate some width in our attack. So you're going to see some really, really excited and possibly fatigued flank players for Nashville SC.
They got plenty of subs to work with, unlimited substitutions today. We could see over 50 players in this match. That's a dangerous back pass. Cox bearing down on Gazan, who got there just in time.
And look at that pressing. That is really impressive. I love this.
Garza for Martinez. Tapped around to Barco. Loves to run at players, the 18-year-old. And again, the pressure from Nashville, able to win the possession back. Cox has had an active first start to this game.
That was quite the slide right there. Had a little bit of water flying around.
Jeff Lorenowitz going in hard on the challenge. Lorenowitz expected to play both central defensive mid this year and center back, but Atlanta without the services of their normal center back, Michael Parkhurst, today. Also without Tito Villalba, their star outside winger. Listen to this atmosphere.
It's electric. There is no doubt about it.
Game's been sold out for weeks. Fans have been tailgating really since last night. The supporter section threw a party at a local brewery, and I don't think they have stopped since then.
No, and I think if I remember correctly, they invited the Atlanta fans to join them, and there was a great friendly rivalry going on last night. And I think that's the beautiful part about soccer, is it, you know, a lot of different communities can come together to celebrate our great sport.
Almiron trying to slip in a teammate, and Pickens off of his line. But back to your point, you think about rivalries, and they don't always have to be nasty. They can be enjoyable, and this is one. When these two cities are both in MLS and they're going to play frequently, this is going to be one of the premier rivalries in North America in this sport.
I think that could come true. And I think that, you know, Nashville has a tremendous amount of respect for what Atlanta United has built down there in a very short period of time. So I would imagine if we can make them our rival, we'd be doing pretty well in the MLS.
And right now, Atlanta pretty bottled up as Nashville continues that high pressure. But it's smartly and expertly worked to Greg Garza, the left back. Barco closed down by Melodo. All the way back for the Argentinian Gonzalez Pires. Lorenowitz will restart the attack on the right side. Zizzo. Resolute defending from the boys in gold. They have several nicknames. One that's developed here in the last couple days is the Six Strings, in homage to their logo and also the classic guitar. You can see the logo and the crest there on the jersey of Lebo Melodo. Nagbe, Liberian-born American citizen. Almiron switching for Garza. Been tough to crack this Nashville 11. McCann. Nagbe. Just waiting for their moment. And a foul. And a tough spot for Nashville. It's Bradley Bourgeois whistled for the foul, and Atlanta players still down from the challenge. And if you're a fan of the Five Stripes, that is not a player that you want to see down. It is one of the prized possessions. Miguel Almiron, the Paraguayan, the birthday boy, was named to MLS's best 11 last year, and the jersey that he's wearing is the top-selling jersey in MLS. Just a tangle of legs between Bourgeois and Almiron, and Bourgeois not happy with the call, clearly.
No, I'm not a real fan of that. One, because this is an incredibly dangerous free kick and a great opportunity for Atlanta. But two, I mean, I think they got just messed up together. I think the field played a little bit into it, and I think that maybe we were being a little protective of Almiron in these early few minutes of the game. I'm glad he's okay, though. He got up, he walked away, and he's still part of the play.
And he's set to take the free kick. It's Almiron. Leandro Gonzalez Pires, one of the targets in the box. Pickens calling out his line. Martinez and Lorenowitz in there as well. First real good set piece opportunity for the visitors. Almiron to deliver. Headed out by Davis, the former Minnesota United player. Gressil, the reigning MLS Rookie of the Year. Schrute got a foot on it, and now Nashville a chance to run. At the feet of Melodo. Poked along to LaGrassa. Intercepted McCann. Turning his Almiron. Barco has run on. A one-on-one against Bourgeois. Barco weaving his way through. Lays it off. Dummied along to Nagbe off the post. First real opportunity for Atlanta, and it's the national team player who draws iron.
What a great 1v1 opportunity from Barker right there. Laid a ball back perfectly, and a nice little layoff, pinged right off the post. I don't think Pickens ever saw it, so I think he's got to give his post a little bit of a pat on that one.
Pickens was just flat-footed. There was nothing he could do from the strike from Darlington Nagbe. Nagbe was one of the players on the field in what has become that famous loss to Trinidad and Tobago. Played 84 minutes in that contest. And it's going to be tough to see him playing in MLS in July, as he thought he may have a trip to the World Cup in Russia. Brad Guzan, another one of those U.S. national team members who failed in qualifying. Guzan was on the bench for that Trinidad and Tobago game. Did play several World Cup qualifiers. Is actually a voting member for the U.S. Soccer Federation. I'll tell you about that in a second. But Nashville on the run with Cox. Cox cuts it back. Lays it off. LaGrassa. Overlapping is Kimura. Chased by Barco. Can he fend off the teenager? He can, and he draws the foul.
Oh, this is a good opportunity for Nashville. This is a very dangerous spot right there on that right flank. I think we're going to be looking for some target players that are going to be in this. I think you're going to see Cox being one of the main players that they're going to look to.
Cox in the box waiting, and what an opportunity this is for Nashville to score right in front of their supporters. The supporters section ready to break into a harmony. There they are behind Brad Guzan. Schrute in there as well, as is London Woodbury, the towering center back. Two-man wall for Atlanta. It's Garza and Almiron. Reed and Davis, the committee to take the free kick. 17th minute, scoreless game. Inaugural match, Nashville versus Atlanta. And Nashville SC with the free kick. Sent back post, and Guzan off of his line. That's an easy claim for the national team goalkeeper. The outlet, though, dies in the sod. And a lucky break for Nashville.
I think I might want that set piece back if I were Nashville. I'm not really sure why we went with an in-swinger on that ball. We played right into Guzan's hands. That was an easy routine save for him.
And again, the high pressing of Nashville forces the turnover. Ball chipped in for Cox. Can he get a foot onto it? Cox goes down in the box. He wants the penalty. And Soren Stoica says no way. The referee wanting nothing to do with Cox hitting the ground.
Of course he wants that penalty. He's a striker. I'm not sure that I would have called that if I were the referee either.
But Cox has been active. He's a handful.
He is a handful. He's a big physical presence up there, and he can run.
Cox, the Canadian, turned pro at 17 years old. He's been a bit of a journeyman. Played in Finland's Premier League, then led Orlando City B, a USL squad in goals 2 years ago. Had a bit of an offseason last year. There's rumors he's in tremendous shape compared to where he was last year, and a lot is expected of him as a true number 9 forward. Chip ball over the top. Martinez is running on, and Pickens to get there.
Well read by Pickens in that situation.
Distribution out of the back, tough for both teams here with this slippery field. And Ronnie, you've coached in games like this. Do you tell your players anything specific, or do they just have to figure it out when they go?
I have to be honest. I mean, these players are professionals. I think they'll be able to read the nuances of the turf and the parts of the field where they can keep possession of the ball and the parts of the field where they're going to have to maybe play a little quicker and play a little longer. It turns into a player's game without a doubt, especially when there's different types of temperatures and different field conditions.
Stolen away. Cox a chance to turn. As Larinowitz hounding him. Shrugs off the center back. Sprays wide for Kimura. Japanese midfielder cuts it inside. Schrute chopped down. And another free kick for Nashville.
Again, that was some really great movement off the ball. Cox has played as a great target. He fought himself off in the tackle, maintained possession, and then he continued his run into a wide area, thus opening it for Schrute.
Tough challenge from Leandro Gonzalez-Perez. This is a tricky spot here for Brad Kazan, the goalkeeper for Atlanta. He's got to stay honest, but Nashville can still swing a ball right around the top of the 6.
I think if we loft anything in there, it's going to be an easy routine save for Kazan again. I think we're going to have to be a little bit more creative and get a little bit better texture and bend on our ball this time.
Atlanta holds a high line.
Although, I mean, he could be within striking distance. Let's see what they've got. Let's see what the plan is. This could go directly on frame.
Reed provides the service. Back post. Rising is LaGrassa and Bourgeois. And it's headed out by an Atlanta player. Bourgeois, the center back, had a chance at it. Just nicked away at the last moment by Gonzalez-Perez.
Again, a better choice of balls. That was much better. That was bent away from Kazan, who got caught in no man land. He tried to come, and then he had to stop and backpedal and protect his goal.
And now Atlanta tries to press, but the boys in goal break it. Kimura. Backwards for Bourgeois. Chopped again to Kimura. Downloads the pass, but Gonzalez-Perez able to sweep it away. Launches downfield and finds Nagbe. And what a touch that is from Nagbe, and they nearly spring Almiroad. Gary Smith told us that they have to, speaking of Nashville, disrupt Atlanta's rhythm. So far, mission accomplished.
Absolutely. I don't see a rhythm that's been established by Atlanta at all yet today. I do think I think the game's been ridden by quite a few fouls throughout both sides of this match, and hopefully it's going to get cleaned up a little bit, but I think there's a lot of nervous energy and just flat out excitement to play an 11-a-side match.
Gary Smith also told us that Nashville has to create and capitalize. He didn't know if his team was going to get a lot of opportunities, so they had to be efficient when they came. So far, not any real clear-cut opportunities, but still some attacking soccer from Nashville. Atlanta almost gets a quick one here off of the free kick. A just scripted routine.
Again, did you see that ball skid across the 6-yard line? I mean, that was fast. I think that had a little bit of the water to do with that skid, so we've got to be real cautious of that in our back third.
Gary Smith's reaction tells you everything. Did not want to fall asleep on a free kick. Especially Atlanta, that's had a couple weeks of practice to design plays like that. As Barco pulled down by Michael Reed, the captain, 30 years old. Reed and Justin Davis were teammates at Minnesota United. They both find themselves in the first starting 11 in Nashville history. Substitutes being prepared for Nashville. So you see the players warming up. No whistle in the midfield. As Schrute was pulled down. Unimpressed is Soren Stoika, our official. Nagbe trying to unlock the defense. We wonder how long Atlanta will leave its starters out there. Tata Martino was not ready to give a commitment to how many minutes they would play. Said he wanted to see how this game went, and I think right now he's going to want to see more from this starting 11.
I agree. I was just thinking, I don't think Tata's seen enough of a rhythm established with this starting group yet, so I think we could see them play for a little bit longer.
Barco with Kimura around. Headed back out, forwarded to Schrute. In a battle for possession. Stokes it wide to Kimura. That's coolly done by Schrute, who's had to sink back farther to defend and is playing a bit more like a hold-up forward right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're playing with just Cox as a true center forward right now, and his job is to hold the ball and allow the rest of us to get numbers in behind, because as you can see, we're playing really compact defensively, which we need to, because Atlanta's extremely dangerous in their final third.
Nagby a chance to dribble in the midfield. Sprays for Gressil, a heavy touch, and Gressil went lunging in. And it's a physical, dangerous challenge from Gressil. And it's a yellow card, the first of the day.
Wow, that's early. I wouldn't have expected that at this point in the game.
Is this a friendly?
Exactly. It doesn't look like a friendly.
Gressil did well. He kept his studs down there. You see a lot of really desperate challenges with the studs up, but he went in hard on the challenge, but there were no studs showing.
Absolutely not. I thought he did a nice job on that tackle. Maybe a little premature yellow card.
Tough coach. She loves a player that gets stuck in.
I do. I must admit, I do.
The foul's really starting to mount up here.
We really have to clean this game up a little bit. It's the nerves are showing through with the lack of any type of rhythm.
Garza able to deny Kimura, who's been active on that right wing. Kimura, we've been told, is one of the more physical specimens on the team. One of the older players, but really keeps care of his body. Has tremendous endurance, and he's going to have to if he's asked to play that outside wing position for the entirety of the season.
The two hardest positions in our Nashville SC lineup are our two wide wing backs. It is a lot of work. You have a lot of expectations on you.
Cross coming in, Gazan off of his line. Easily claimed by Gazan, one of the nation's top goalkeepers, the 33-year-old. Just looking at this Atlanta roster, so many players, both for the U.S. and for South American national teams on the roster. I mean, look at Joseph Martinez, who has 9 goals for the Venezuelan national team. Ezequiel Barco has played for Argentina's U20 national team. Miguel Almirón, 10 appearances for Paraguay. And here is Almirón. Trying to dance by Bourgeois. The first corner kick of the day for Atlanta.
Well, I can see why the Atlanta fans are so passionate about their team. They're everything you want in a soccer team. They are creative and dynamic in that final third, and everybody loves to score goals, and this group is really entertaining.
Atlanta takes it short. Barco, 18-year-old's been bottled up early. Atlanta team that led MLS last year with 70 goals. They've been roadblocked by their neighbors in Nashville. The rain has not stopped. Absolutely drenching from the moment we woke up this morning, and it has continued to pour. And the fans have fought through it. It's not a terribly cold day, considering that it's February 10th.
The fans don't seem to be deterred at all. They're very engaged in the game, and the crowd energy is still really high right now.
Barco trying to slalom his way through. LaGrassa. Schrute down. And again, Schrute is finding quite a bit of contact whenever he touches the ball. And Leandro Gonzalez Perez, a physical center back, certainly not pleased with how lightly Schrute has gone down.
And I think the referee just had a few words and was citing the number of fouls that he's already committed in this half. So I think he might have to watch his physical play just a little bit. I think the referee has got his number right now.
Gary Smith, the Nashville coach, said the guys are well organized, prepared, and really hungry. Can you imagine if they get a goal in this game?
Oh, this place will erupt.
And you know all of the forwards are thinking about I want to be that first guy, the one that goes down in the history books.
Sure, and I got to tell you, I think that if Atlanta scores too, this place is going to erupt, because boy, did they travel. They have a great community over there. Behind the team benches, you can see all of the Nashville fans, and they have come out in numbers to support their team.
Atlanta led the league, MLS, in attendance last year. Actually led all professional sports franchises that were not football teams in attendance last year. So that's NHL and NBA included.
Well, and here they are in a preseason scrimmage in Nashville, Tennessee against a USL team. I believe that they have the greatest fans in the MLS right now.
Ask you that question again in a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly.
When Nashville is there.
For today, February 10th, 2018, shout out to Atlanta fans.
And there's been so much talk about Atlanta really laying the blueprint for soccer in the South.
Sure, it's a great blueprint. If we can mimic what they're doing with their program in such a short period of time, I think it's fantastic.
Right now, Nashville with its focus both in this game and on the USL season coming up. A 34-game USL schedule. This is, remember, a club that was in PSL from 2014 to 2016. A year in the PDL last year with a youth team, and now just about a month away from the opening USL match. It'll be against the defending champions, Louisville City FC, on the road. And then later in March, Nashville will return to face Pittsburgh in what will be the home opener, the first non-friendly at home. Resolute first 30 minutes here for Nashville. They have weathered the storm that is Atlanta United. They've been organized. They've been determined. They've been physical. They've also been dangerous in some opportunities.
They definitely haven't sat back and allowed Atlanta to dictate the entire tempo. They are coming out to play. We are seeing a nice little rhythm right now for the first time that I think Atlanta has started to establish.
Percussive passing. Zizo trying to spin away. Larinowitz and Nagbe combining to find McCann. Lob towards Martinez. Dealt with by Bourgeois, but it falls to Almiron. And he slams it off a Nashville defender, and it's out for a corner kick.
Well, Nashville did a good job of winning that first ball that came in, and then they left that half chance right there for Almiron. It came right to his feet, and we did a really good job of getting a body on the ball before he had a good look on frame, but the ball came right back to him. We've got to be real cautious of that.
Keep up to date with Nashville SC all season long by visiting NashvilleSC.com. Access the latest team news, content, merchandise, ticket offers, promotions, and more. Check out NashvilleSC.com. Atlanta with a corner kick in the outfield of First Tennessee Park. Pumped in for Nagbe, lining it up. Darlington Nagbe with a chance for a glory strike. And smiles from the U.S. national team midfielder.
I would be smiling too. Look at this full volley he takes off of a corner kick that's laid back outside the 18. Brilliant. I absolutely love that look.
And that looked right out of the training ground, which means they've done it in practice, and it probably worked to debut it in a game.
He probably can do that consistently. I would agree. But that sure was fun to look at for a minute.
It's hard to forget this is Nagbe's first game in the red and black. Acquired in the offseason from the Portland Timbers. Has been one of the stars of MLS for quite some time. Led the league in passing last year with 92% completion rate. And Atlanta starting to impose itself here, but Nashville's forced a turnover in the midfield. Maloto, the South African. Intercepted by Nagbe, and Martinez on the run. Connects with Almiron. Overlapping is Barco. Just one. Sprayed it past Pickens, who was beaten in the corner, but the 18-year-old on his debut still seeking his first goal. Did Pickens get a hand on that? The officials say no, but it looks like Pickens may have gotten it at full strength.
It looks close, and you know that whole play developed because Maloto took one extra touch in the midfield and he got dispossessed by some of those central players from Atlanta. If he had maintained possession and switched the point of attack, they wouldn't have had that quick look on frame and that dangerous goal scoring opportunity.
Been a while since we've seen Nashville with possession in the attacking third. James, early service, back post, Schrute running on. Can he bring it down? But he's offsides. Was just a step ahead of Greg Garza. And the assistant says he was a step offsides as well, but Robin Schrute's a crafty player. Gary Smith said it's a forward that's going to score a lot of goals in USL this year. Just a hair offsides. We think. We'll go with what the officials said. Don't think we have the camera angle like they do in the international games.
No.
We don't have the magic line either.
Evidently not. But when the ball was played, he looked pretty close to being onside to me. Prior to that, in an offside position for sure.
Zizzo, the free agent signing, joined the team just last week. He's earned a free kick.
Unfortunate foul right there, because that was some really good individual defending against Zizzo. And then he had his back to goal, and there's just no reason to commit that foul in that part of the field. So here we go again, just on the opposite flank. Basically the same space.
Targets in there for Atlanta. It's Gonzalez-Perez, the center back, along with Lorenowitz. Both those players over 6 feet tall. Pickens putting his wall closer to the end line. Almiron and Barco still yet to elect who will take this free kick. Soren Stoica will walk off all 10 yards. Tough conditions as well. Wet surface. Atlanta to throw it into the mixer. Free kick from Barco. Sent over the crossbar. A real clear-cut opportunity for the Five Stripes. It glanced off an Atlanta head, but it'll be a goal kick for Nashville. And the first goal avoided for that man, Matt Pickens.
Lovely little bent-in ball by Barco.
The service from the $15 million teenager. I think that's last off of Nashville. Was an important header from Matt LaGrassa. Just his second year as a pro. LaGrassa is one of the players that Gary Smith said is going to be a key cog of this team. Just a no-nonsense player and works hard. Schrute with his back to the target. See if Nashville can get some possession here. Stolen away by Nagbe. Can he spring Martinez? Important challenge from Woodbury. Near switch to Barco. Cut out by Kamura. Tap forward by Gressil, and a chase with Davis, who calmly watches it out. It's tough in the part of the field where the baseball dirt is when the Nashville Sounds, the minor league team, plays here. They've put in a natural grass surface sod over it, but that's where the water has accumulated, Ronnie. And when Nashville switches ends in the second half, that's going to be an advantage.
There's no doubt about it. That particular area doesn't have the root system that the rest of the grass fields do. So it has caused Nashville some problems in their attacking third of the field, because the ball's just dying when it hits that space.
Cox off the head from Gonzalez-Perez. James overlapping. Rolls to Meloto. Reed. Again, it stops in that sod, and a hefty challenge from Martinez. It'll be a Nashville throw.
That was a statement tackle by Martinez.
Venezuelan does not back down. Prolific score, but really does it all. Slip through. Meloto nearly got there. And now Martinez trying to run the other way, and he pushed London Woodbury in the back. And Martinez is a fiery character.
Well, he sure is fiery. Look at him right now.
Said his goal this year was to stay healthy. Didn't talk about performance, just said if I'm healthy, the goals will come. Meloto running on. Tried to slip it through for Robin Schrute, and another important interception from Gonzalez-Perez has sprung Gressil. Taken right back by Woodbury.
That was good defending by Nashville SC. The back line was retreating, and Atlanta still intended to play that ball without changing the run of their attacking players. Thus, Nashville could defend that easily.
Boys in gold continue to press. Schrute nearly takes it away, but illegally. It's going to be about a month-long preseason, then we'll dive into the USL schedule. And fans, you can secure your place in line for MLS tickets. Don't miss any of the action in 2018. Nashville season tickets start as low as $16 per match and include all 17 regular season home matches. Nashville SC ticket members also receive a 10% discount on purchases at the Nashville SC online shop. Purchase your season ticket memberships today at nashvillesc.com/season tickets. Fans who had their season tickets were given a ticket to this contest. Sold out, 10,000 fans. There are the supporters, the roadies, that official supporters group, along with the assembly. Going to be a week-long party, especially if Nashville can nick one here.
I think it's already been going for a week. They pre-gamed themselves. I think they're in preseason.
Gazan. Coolly done.
I love his composure in goal.
Just like you when you were in college, right?
Oh, spitting image, right. Not so much.
Former Duke goalkeeper. Nashville preparing substitutions. We'll probably see them at halftime. Be a couple former North Carolina Tar Heels in there. It's hard to inform you.
Oh, I'll cheer for them with Nashville SC.
Nagbe swings it wide. Cross coming in from Garza. Smashed away by Bourgeois. Atlanta fans starting to impose their noise on this stadium. Listen to the clap. Boys in gold on the run with Robin Schrute. Can he get around McCann? Laid off for James. Got stuck in on the challenge. Lorenowitz down the line. It falls for McCann. Sliding challenge from LaGrassa. 42nd minute. If you're Gary Smith, Ronnie, you take a result like this in the first half. 0-0 against the most potent offense in North America.
When you go to the locker room with the potential tie on your hands, you're going to feel really good.
Kamura lobbing it back post, and Gazan had James bearing down. And it's a sure-handed stop from Gazan. But Nashville looking dangerous with the Japanese wingback, Kosuke Kamura.
Kamura's dynamic. He's joining into the attack, and he is getting back and doing his work defensively, too. He is most definitely fit.
Martinez is onside. Joseph Martinez! Save made by Pickens.
Huge save.
Matt Pickens denies one of the MLS's most dangerous strikers in Joseph Martinez. What a save this is.
Right off his chest. He's so good, he didn't even need to use his hands.
It is a corner kick, though, for Atlanta. Barco provides the service. Jump ball headed away by Woodbury and sent all the way backwards to Salzizo.
That's a big save for Pickens. Going into the locker room 1-0 down, having conceded a goal in the last 3 minutes of the first half, can be deflating. So right now, he did his job. He held his team together. He put them on their back and made a huge save against a world-class player.
Gary Smith told us, the Nashville coach, said sometimes his team needs to recognize when they just need to settle this game. This is one of those moments with roughly 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Securing the shutout of the first half is really important for Nashville right now. Being patient defensively and showing some grit and grind for the last few minutes of the game is going to be essential.
Robin Schrute causing problems. Cox has run on. trying to turn on Lorenowitz. And the service in the end, leaving much to be desired from Meloto.
He may want that one back.
And I think the players know that they may be getting pulled at halftime. Remember, this is a friendly. Nashville's been warming up 11 players on the sideline. So the urgency here from the starters, you can feel it and you can see it.
Everyone's vying for a starting position on both rosters, I think, right now. In preseason is your opportunity to put different combinations of players together and a chance to just see what's gelling. And I think everyone's basically trying to earn their role right now.
We go into the locker rooms deadlocked. Or can Nashville find one here in the closing minutes of the first half? Lebo Meloto has been active for his head coach, Gary Smith. Meloto was one of the attacking midfielders in the USL for Swope Park Rangers, a team that made the USL finals last year. He was acquired for future considerations during the offseason. Going to be one of the more creative and attacking players for Nashville, and could really be a player that this city falls in love with. He's a creator. Poor turnover. Remember, Nashville will be attacking the better side of the field in the next half, the one that doesn't have standing water in it in the attacking third. Bourgeois has done an excellent job. He's had to hem in Ezequiel Barco. And Barco has been relatively quiet for a $15 million player, the most expensive in MLS history.
But he shows moments of brilliance. He is definitely a talent. Atlanta's going to see big things out of him this year.
Gressil whips in the cross and nearly knocked in by Bourgeois. He's bailed out by Matt Pickens. It would have been a disastrous first goal in the inaugural game.
In extra time in the first half.
And Matt Pickens steps forward in a crucial moment, but Atlanta looking for that opener. Woodbury got a sliding challenge in there. Smashed away by Davis.
Nashville just dodged a few bullets right there, without a doubt.
Now Nashville's just got to get into the locker room with a scoreless game. Atlanta pushing the issue. Maybe one last thrust here for the visitors. Perhaps the last one with their starting 11 in. We expect to see wholesale substitutions after halftime. Can Nashville get one here? Kimura dispossessed by Lorenowitz, and that is the first half. Well, it had its moments. Both teams with opportunities to score, and the rain-soaked fans stand and applaud the efforts of the boys in gold. Kosuke Kimura was an absolute engine on the right side, and Gary Smith has decisions to make. Who will he bring in the second half? And the same with Atlanta. It will be multiple substitutions we expect for both teams, but Gary Smith says we are playing this game to win it. A result is crucial. And can Nashville find it in what has been a special afternoon? Rain-soaked First Tennessee Park. The challenges have been flying in. It's been a physical game. It's hard to call it a friendly. It's Nashville and Atlanta for the first time in professional soccer history. Well, around 2 inches of rain couldn't keep 10,000 fans away from the opening game, Nashville SC. There are the supporters. They are drenched, but they had a pretty entertaining first half as we welcome you back to First Tennessee Park. I'm John Freeman, joined by former Vanderbilt head coach Ronnie Woodard, former SEC Coach of the Year at Vanderbilt. And Ronnie, it was a cagey first half. They went back and forth. We'll look at the highlights in a second, but it was physical. There was a couple opportunities, and the weather played a big role.
No doubt about it. I mean, it was a foul-filled first half. We had 19 total fouls called in the first half. And we need to clean that up a little bit on both sides, with Atlanta and Nashville giving away dangerous opportunities in each other's attacking thirds.
19 fouls in the first half. We were joking. It's hard to call this one a friendly as the rivals clash here in Music City. And let's pull up the highlights. Atlanta had a couple more opportunities than Nashville. The first one coming here. It's Matt Pickens, who was busy in the first half. And then Brad Gazan had to come out a few times as well. He was bothered in moments.
Well, the water, you could see, is holding up the ball a little bit, and it's making it slightly unpredictable for the goalkeeper to read.
Darlington Nagbe had two of the best chances of the first half. It's this shot that he clangs off of the iron. Had another chance on a free kick, but first, Nashville hanging around in the box again in these conditions. That's not a bad service there, as they came crashing into the box on several occasions.
Well, as you can see from these highlights, we definitely have a lot of contact during every bit of this game.
Here's the volley from Nagbe.
I love that.
He had lined it up, just couldn't get it on target. Nashville did contain Ezekiel Barco. The new signing had a couple chances, and there was the save of the first half. It was Matt Pickens denying Joseph Martinez. And the near own goal, almost disaster as Pickens bailing out Bradley Bourgeois. And those are the highlights. It's been a rain-soaked half. It's been tough to find possession in the midfield. And Ronnie, when you think about what's coming up next, you can see just the yellow socks of a few players at the top of your screen. We are expecting somewhere around 8 to maybe even all 11 changes for Nashville in the lineup. And the players have to get accustomed to that field right there real quickly.
There's going to be a whole new dynamic with a whole fresh crew of players. I think for both teams, I think we're going to see Atlanta and Nashville come out with different faces, and they're going to have a very, very short span of time to get themselves prepared and get used to these field conditions, which seem to be getting a little bit worse as we go on.
There are the substitutes that are getting ready to make their Nashville SC debut. The fans want a goal. Will we get one? It's halftime here at First Tennessee Park, Nashville and Atlanta. Nashville and Atlanta still seeking the first goal of this game as we welcome you back to First Tennessee Park. 10,000 fans in this stadium that was built for $91 million. It was built on a floodplain, and it's built to withstand a 100-year flood. And, well, it's being put to the limits today as downpours throughout the game. But it's been a fun one to broadcast, and it's been a fun one for these fans to watch. They started with plenty of pageantry as we roll through exactly what the fans did see. And, well, first it was the exchanging of jerseys. You see John Ingram, the Nashville owner, there in the middle. And then the teams came out onto the field for Nashville. The starting 11 will forever go down in history as the first ever starting 11. And then they revealed the gold jerseys as voted on by fans. They're now available to buy, and there they are in all of their fluorescence. And then we finally got to soccer after that. But, of course, team pictures at the Tennessee Soccer Club. This is Nashville SC that has engaged the community plenty. And then they've also engaged their fans. They just want one moment to celebrate. Those are the Roadies in the Assembly, the official supporters group of Nashville SC. Will their team get a goal here in the opening game of Nashville SC's history? It's been a downpour from start to finish, but a goal drought after 45 minutes. Nashville and SC and Atlanta United in the opening game of Nashville SC's club history. It has been pouring, and we have felt the field conditions affect this game as we welcome you back. I'm John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Woodard, and Gary Smith has had some decisions to make on substitutions, and well, he warmed up an entire new group, and they are all out onto the field. So wholesale substitutions for Nashville. We will get you their numbers and their names in just a moment. They have yet to be passed along to us. One of the many treats, Ronnie, of friendly soccer, unlimited substitutions. It can be fun for the fans because you get some fresh legs, and it is a nightmare for the broadcasters like us.
Yeah, thanks for the big challenge here from Nashville SC and Atlanta. Two entirely different squads stepping out onto the field. But it is a great chance for our fans of both teams, whether you're Atlanta or Nashville, you are going to enjoy seeing a lot of different players participate in this match today.
It's time to vote for today's Budweiser Man of the Match. Find the poll at the official Nashville SC Twitter account at Nashville SC. And part of me feels like that is yet to be decided with all these substitutes out there. If somebody can get a goal, the first in club history, surely he'll win the poll. Still waiting on our substitutions to get sorted out. Apologize. Rarely does a team have to prepare for 11 substitutions. I do see C.J. Cochran, the goalkeeper, out there for Nashville.
And if you're taking a look at this right now, the way that Nashville's lining up, I'm not sure it's going to be a 3-5-2. Let's see how the half unfolds. But it looks to me that Coach Smith may have come out in an entirely different system of play. Let's see what the game unfolds and shows us as the substitutions get announced.
There is Cochran from the suburbs of Atlanta. Took over the starting role last year for Oklahoma City in the USL and led the team to the Western Conference Finals. Came here to Nashville knowing he would be in a battle with Matt Pickens, the goalkeeper, and he has accepted that challenge. Playback underway. Will we find a winner this afternoon? Atlanta still trying to figure out if they've made substitutions as well, and they've made a few, but they have also left some of their big guns out there. Miguel Almiron, the Paraguayan. Joseph Martinez out there as well. Greg Garza. I mean, really very few substitutions for Tata Martino.
It appears that Tata Martino wants to see a little bit more out of his starting group.
Here's Nagbe in the midfield. Had the best chances in the first half. Closest opportunity was a shot that he clanged off of the post. Lorenowitz in the midfield. Garza cut off by Michael de Graffenright, the former University of Louisville outside back. He's an athletic player, still developing his tactical game. And it's a tough introduction. You get a player coming off of the bench like de Graffenright, and suddenly you're looking at the best competition that you have ever faced in your entire life. Bunch of national teamers, including this one, Darlington Nagbe. Ball stayed in bounds. Lorenowitz. Kevin Kratz, one of the few substitutions for Atlanta. Almiron's shot was deflected and banged to safety by Taylor Washington.
That's quite the clearance by Washington. He was not going to take any chances.
Washington, the 24-year-old, one of the many players on this Nashville roster that was drafted by an MLS team. He was a first-round pick by Philadelphia back in 2016. Played last year for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the USL. And is matriculated to Nashville. So many players want to be part of this movement. Be part of growing a club. And they want to be part of big games like this one.
And Nashville sure is a great place to live. It's one of the it cities right now. Who wouldn't want to come be a professional athlete in Nashville, Tennessee?
Atlanta building the attack. Almiron was bottled up in the first half. Chipped into the box to Gressil. Return to Almiron. Again smashed away by Washington.
Skill check by Washington to a central player.
Play looking scattered in the midfield. Atlanta building on the side again. Lorenowitz has had an active first half and continues that way in the second. Brought down by Howell. Forward for the speedy Ropapa Mensah, player that we're going to hear a lot about here during the USL season. Mensah, a 20-year-old Ghanaian. And when you talk with the coaches and the fans, they expect him to be one of the leading scorers. Had a hard time getting out of the country into Nashville in time, but here is Mensah going for glory, and he does not hesitate to pull the trigger.
And why not?
A true goal scorer. You love when a forward comes in like that, don't you, Ronnie?
Oh, yeah. There was no fear. He had a window, albeit it was quite small, and he took a good look on frame, in his opinion.
Nagbe trying to spin away from the pressure. It's Ramon Howell out there, the Jamaican for Nashville. Gary Smith's team from top to bottom is an athletic and physical team. Mensah's run on, has Tucker Hume to his right, tries to slip through to Hume. Crashing challenge all the way back for Howell. Drags it to his left, poked away by Lorenowitz. And back for McCann. Nashville right now playing with Ropapa Mensah up top. He's joined by Tucker Hume, the former North Carolina player. And it's a bit of speed with Mensah and power and size with Hume. Hume, the tallest player on the roster at 6'5". Player that really needs service to contribute. Speaking of service, ball sent in towards Martinez, punched away by Cochran. Chance for the first goal here. It dies in the Tennessee waters.
Nashville needs to say thank you very much to that puddle right outside the 18, because Nashville SC left a half chance right there and an open net, because our goalkeeper committed and went diving after that ball and left that half chance wide open. Thank you, puddle of water, for Nashville SC.
And now you see the difference in the halves of this field. Nashville has the much better side to attack now. There's no standing water on the Nashville side, but you see here where the baseball field and the infield was. You can see it just a little darker shade of green. That's where all the standing water is, and that's where Nashville's attack usually stalled in the first half.
And you arguably can say that now Nashville's defending the better side too, because the water is pooled outside of the 18, which is making it a really difficult
attack building from the corner. Sent in towards Hume. And here it is, Ronnie. Nashville not afraid to go right at this Atlanta team that has yet to pull their big guns. Gonzalez Perez, the starting center back, in there. So is Darlington Nagbe. Almiron still out there as well. What an experience this is for the second 11 for Nashville. Nagbe. Kratz. McCann. Garza. How's he supposed to dribble out of this? Goes for the chip. Hold down by DeGraffenreich. Howell, the Jamaican. To Mensah, the Ghanaian. Poked away by Kratz. And retreating it all the way back was Garza to Gonzalez Perez. New goalkeeper out for Atlanta. It's Alec Can, 27-year-old from Decatur, Georgia. Can was the starter last year before Brad Guzan came over from Middlesbrough. Ball chip forward to Martinez, running on, sliding challenge, and he takes out Cochran. And Martinez might have gotten the worst of it. Cochran held on. If this was the NFL, complete catch. Did the ball touch the ground? Made the football move. And that's a big challenge for Martinez. You know, on a dry field, it's nothing. He doesn't get to the goalkeeper. on the slip and slide field that we have today, it looks nastier than it probably was.
His momentum just kept him going right into Cochran, and Cochran did a great job. He kept focused on the ball, and he avoided the attacking player, jumped right over him, and thus able to hold on to it.
Resolute defending from Nashville, all 11 behind the ball. Seemed like the first team, Ronnie, maybe pushed and pressed a little bit more, although Nashville's taking the ball right back. Mensah nearly slipped through. Akinyoti sprays it wide. Howell's service driven. Back for Akinyoti, the Nigerian. Boys in gold with the ball in the attacking third. DeGraffenreich on his own side. It's a dangerous back pass. And dribbling out coolly was the man from the Isle of Man, Liam Doyle.
Liam Doyle did well with that ball. Here comes Atlanta pressing.
Turnover. Taken away, Almiron trying to tee up that left foot. Chance here, cross cannot be sent in. It was Julian Gressil, the reigning MLS player or rookie of the year. Couldn't quite get there on the slippery surface. And how long is Atlanta going to leave out its most expensive and dependable players? I think they're frustrated in this game. We came in thinking that those stars may play 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and here they are still searching for that first goal in the 55th.
There seems to be a lack of rhythm out here on both teams, and of course the weather is to attribute to some of that, but I don't think that either coach has seen exactly what they want to see out of their team yet.
Howell goes for glory. Oh, nearly struck. It would have brought the house down. Just about a foot away. Had Can committed, and that nearly dipped in.
Great awareness of Can being so high off of his line to take that shot.
Turnover in the midfield. Almiron with Martinez to his left. Akinyoti sliding in. Garza in there as well. Players flopping around, and Hughes is able to draw the foul.
That area right at the top of the D outside the 18 is borderline unplayable for some of these players. It is really difficult to dribble out of that space, maintain possession of the ball in that space.
It's a pool party.
It really is a difficult situation to play in for these players right now.
You think it plays to Nashville's advantage?
I would think so. I think, Nashville wants to make the game as messy as they possibly can. They're trying to neutralize this incredibly dangerous attack that Atlanta has, and any little opportunity for them to get an advantage, thus the playing surface, is good for Nashville at this point, especially with a whole new 11 that just came on and a brand new goalkeeper.
Nashville has also brought out a player named Alan Wynn. He was introduced to fans on Friday in a press release. Former North Carolina striker, was actually drafted by the Colorado Rapids. In MLS this year, declined a contract with the team and instead said, I want to be a part of this Nashville movement. Gary Smith thinks very highly of Wynn, number 19 in goal.
Well, by the looks of it and him just coming out of the MLS draft, a lot of people think real highly of Wynn. I think he's going to be a great late addition to this Nashville SC roster.
He was a prolific goal scorer at UNC, your favorite school.
He wears the wrong shade of blue, but I am going to be a big fan for him.
Possession extracted from Garza by DeGraffenreich. Another ACC player out there. Oh, poor turnover. Martinez, 1-0. The weather played a factor. Martinez with a steely stare at the supporters, and Atlanta takes the lead.
That's just unfortunate. We were working really hard defensively, and we laid a ball back, and it is in that exact spot where the turf just is unplayable right there. We just addressed that a second ago, and Martinez, being the great goal scorer that he is, you just can't give him an open look on frame facing the entire goal like that. That's an unfortunate situation, and definitely weather-related.
Joseph Martinez, one of the MLS's best 11 last year. scored 18 goals in just 16 appearances for Atlanta. Cochran had no chance. And the Five Stripes take the lead here in the inaugural match. You hate to see it happen like that, and now Atlanta is humming. Here they are at their best, on the run. Cross comes in, Martinez lurking, and Cochran can't spill it, and he didn't.
Cochran did a good job holding on to that ball because Martinez was waiting there for it to pop out and have an easy look on frame.
Atlanta wasting no time to get right back at Nashville from the kickoff. For Martinez, he is lethal. He rarely celebrates his goals.
He's saucy. There's no doubt about it. He stared down the Nashville supporters after that goal was scored.
Can Nashville claw one back here? Howell overlapping was de Graffenright, went under his foot. Can he get there? He can. Howell, the Jamaican. This is better from the boys in gold. Akinyoti. Dunston played his last 3 seasons at Chattanooga.
Atlanta is starting to press.
There's Martinez, the 58th minute goal for Tata Martino's squad that led MLS in scoring last year. And Ronnie, you were making a point about the press. If you're Nashville, how do you attack what is now an Atlanta team that senses blood in the water?
Well, our backs have the ball an awful lot, and they're situated in a dangerous area right now. And as soon as the ball is played back to one of our outside backs from Nashville SC, that's the trigger for Atlanta to press and lock them in. And so thus they're putting the outside backs under a tremendous amount of pressure by constantly playing backwards.
Mintza's gone down, no call. Almiron on the run. Martinez receives the through ball, and Cochran off of his line to deny the Venezuelan.
Really well read by Cochran. The last thing he wants is Martinez getting in behind his back line with a good look on frame.
How do you weather this storm? You go for goal. Through ball to Mintza.
You're going to have a little grit right now. You've got to figure out a way. You have to disrupt the rhythm of Atlanta right now. You're allowing them to dictate the entire flow of the game. The substitutions that were made for Nashville SC haven't quite found their legs yet.
It'll be a Nashville corner kick. Real good chance here, Ronnie. Nashville's not going to get a whole lot of opportunities in the attacking end against a stout defensive team. This is one of them. Alan Wynn, the former Tar Heel, will take the corner kick.
As Coach Smith says, they have to be effective.
Dunston, Akinyoti, and Mintza are the top targets in the box. Lofted high over the head of Hume, run down by de Graffenright. There's Tucker Hume. I want him in the box. He is a pure finisher.
And he's great in the air.
De Graffenright service cut out. Touched along by Nagbe, and again Atlanta flying up the field. On his bike is Almiron. Chasing back was Dunston, former Bryan College player. This is where Nashville has to be careful. This is not the place to pass the ball around. And Cochran nearly kicked it off of Gressil for a goal.
Again, putting Cochran under pressure by playing a ball back on a turf that's just not favorable for a goalkeeper.
And Liam Doyle certainly not pleased, and C.J. Cochran saying exactly what you would if you were playing goal again. We got to calm this thing down. Atlanta really could turn the knife here with another careless mistake. And now Atlanta going to make substitutions as well. Just 3 substitutions. Martinez and Almiron will head to the sideline. Brendan Vasquez, an Atlanta player that is looking to make an impression, trying to be that backup striker and make the first team. He's in 19 in red. Also out there for Atlanta is Jose Hernandez, new signing, and Romario Williams, another striker looking to make his way onto the first team permanently. Keep in mind, Atlanta did bring over 30 players, so we may see them later on, including an exciting U.S. national team prospect in Andrew Carlton. DeGraff and right. Had a busy first impression here at First Tennessee Park. Been under pressure since the second he got into this game after halftime. Nagbe's still out there, and he's drawn the foul from Akinyoti. I think Atlanta is trying to see how this midfield tandem of Jeff Larentowicz and Darlington Nagbe fit, as Larentowicz now appears to be playing central defensive midfield, up from his center back position that he played to start the game. It's a long ball over the top, headed along by Hume. Wynn running on, square ball, Mensah, is this the moment? It is! First goal!
Absolutely brilliant.
Remember the name, Ropapa Mensah. What a moment! The 20-year-old Ghanaian strikes, and we're tied. There he is, tap the crest. Ropapa Mensah, the goal scorer. Cheeky chip at the finish. You wouldn't know he was 20 years old with that experienced touch.
Absolutely magic. Just a tight little chip over a goalkeeper that had already committed himself down. But let's go back to the original ball that was played in by Doyle. Doyle got that on his left foot, drove a ball about 40 yards on a counter with a great flick on, and off we go to the races. That was picture perfect by Nashville, but it all started with Doyle at the center back position.
We told you he could score.
What a goal.
Ropapa Mensah scored 7 goals last year for Harrisburg City. Averaged a goal in the USL every 207 minutes. And here he is in his debut. 20 minutes in, and there the fans have got to love this moment. Some of them have waited their entire lives for professional soccer in Nashville.
And I can't say enough about it. What a great finish. Completely composed. Right inside of the 18, a goalkeeper encroaching, and he just simply lifts it over. Fantastic work.
And Atlanta still with Darlington Nagbe out there. They want this result. Both teams do. This is a little bit more than your usual friendly. Turnover in the midfield. Howell trying to combine with Hume. And a tough challenge as Zizo got nicked by Akinyoti. Well, Gary Smith told us Nashville was coming out to win this game. They weren't going to drop back and defend against this Nashville or against this Atlanta team. He said they're going for a result, and they just may get one. Can they nick another one here, Ronnie? What do they have to do to go ahead?
The momentum switched a little bit with that goal, and all of a sudden Nashville's playing with some newfound energy, and I think this is exactly what Coach Smith wants. Let's see what both groups can do in different environments. What a great game we have on our hands here.
And Hume has created problems, winning some aerial battles. Wynn had the first assist in Nashville SC history just moments ago. What a signing he is. Wasn't in the initial roster coming into the week. Snuck in at the last moment. And just minutes into his debut, a spoon-fed cross to Mensah. This is what a city embracing its big moment in the sport looks like. Sold out stadium, it's a downpour, and the supporters could care less. Cross it in, diving header by DeGraff and right. Cleared away, Howell with an acre of space in front of him. Chip forward, Mensah, can he get there? He can. Hume to his left. Mensah fighting off the challenge from Gonzalez Perez. Mensah takes him to the inline. Mensah square ball, Hume, can he turn? Still Tucker Hume. Laid back for Akinyoti. Switch well, Wynn. Can he control it? He can. Wynn, early service. Hume, loose ball again, Akinyoti. Akinyoti, a big swipe, deflected on the way. And now it's Nashville that senses the blood in the water. Atlanta looks flustered. Hold down was Williams.
I love the addition of Mensah to this starting lineup in the second half. He is so dangerous, and he is just difficult to knock off of the ball, as you have just seen a couple of minutes ago when he was running to the end line, and he just really fought off a really good Atlanta defender.
Hume just couldn't get the ball off of his feet. It's a crucial challenge from Jose Hernandez, the new signing, the left back from Venezuela. I apologize, from Argentina. Oh, sorry, I got this one. It's Venezuela. They're so full of South American teams, it's hard to keep track. Hume running on. Big challenge from the Argentinian Gonzalez Pires. Akinyoti. Now Mensah. Howell. Hughes. Neat combination work for the boys in goal. Can Nashville get another one here? Win to the end line, and it's a corner kick. There were appeals for a foul at the edge of the 18. In retrospect, I think Nashville would much rather have that, a free kick right at the corner of the box, than they would this corner.
I am a little surprised that he didn't call that back. I thought he was playing with some advantage to allow the play to go through, but then he just let them go with a corner kick.
The Coca-Cola corner kick coming up from Allen Wynn. Pumped in. Can had to deal with it. Howell trying to cut it back. Slammed as far as Michael de Graffenreich. De Graffenreich has bottled up Romario Williams, and Nashville is going to make a substitution. And if this is who I think it is, the crowd will love this. It's Martin Galvão, the Portuguese midfielder who last year starred for Nashville's U23 youth team. And he will take out the goal scorer, Ropapa Mensah. This is scripted. Mensah arrived in Nashville last week. Hasn't trained fully with the team for the entirety of what has been a short preseason. Gary Smith told us he was going to play 20 minutes. He played 20 minutes and got his goal. And here comes the youth product, Martin Galvão, and the supporters love him. They almost demanded that the team sign him. He's the lone carryover from that summer roster, a team that played in the Development League.
What if 20 minutes Mensah gave Nashville Soccer Club? That was great work by him. I'm sad to see him go off on the sideline, but as Coach Smith said, he's only about 20-minute game fit right now, so they're working on that and getting him acclimated to Nashville and Nashville SC. I think we're going to see big things out of him this year.
So by our count, every player for Nashville that is eligible to play in this game has entered. The last one being Galvão. I apologize, Ian McGrath, the new signing, is still an option. The former Evansville Purple Ace in Atlanta set to make substitutions as well. Now we get the pins out, Ronnie. Andrew Wheeler-Aminu set to check in, the 23-year-old from Massachusetts. Jeff Larinowitz, the long shift in the center of the pitch. And Julian Gressil, the German, will leave after over 70 minutes of action. And Atlanta has found their neighbors in Nashville hard to push over.
I don't think those are going to be the last substitutions we see from Atlanta. I still see more players on the sideline warming up. I still think we're going to see a new cast of players coming into this game.
Atlanta has several teenagers that we'll see soon. One of them right there has national team scouts drooling. It's George Bello, and Tata Martino has decisions to make. You don't want to sour your preseason by losing to Nashville. I mean, Atlanta's got major aspirations this year. And then if you were to go on the road and give another one away here and lose, what would that do for your preseason and your momentum heading forward?
I think it's preseason.
Spoken like a coach.
You know, I mean, if I'm going to speak like a coach, this is all a learning experience. And this is every player out there is trying to establish themselves, trying to figure out what role they can play on the team. And the coaches are trying all sorts of different combinations. I'm not sure that the result is the primary objective here. I think it's a nice end result. Oh, that's dangerous.
Cochran. That is crafty, and Cochran, well, he might as well just take it up the field.
Again, that same space Nashville keeps laying balls into.
And they keep sending it up the wing where they have caused problems. Can asking a lot of his outside back, Miles Robinson. And that's a tough back pass from Galvão. Could be an advantage later in the year if we ever meet conditions like this again for Nashville, that they will know where the soft spots are. They have not practiced on this field because it rained almost all week. They practiced around town, and here is Atlanta on the counter with Nagbe. Darlington Nagbe, somebody's got to close him down. Nagbe lays it off, 2-1. Brandon Vasquez. Just like that, Darlington Nagbe ignites the attack, and Vasquez, the teenager, slots it home. The traveling Atlanta fans get what they came for. It's 2-1 to the Five Stripes.
It was a wide open look. Nagbe committed all of the Nashville SC players towards him in the center and lays a tight little ball off to the player that's attacking inside of the 18. A difficult save in a situation to put Cochran under. And really, he would have had to have been a hero to make that save. But defensively, we just completely bit into the center of the field and allowed one player to dictate all of our defensive shape.
So what do you do there if you are a Nashville defender and you've got Darlington Nagbe, one of the most dangerous midfielders in America, bearing down? Do you drop back, or do you immediately address the ball?
Oh, the first thing they have to do is stop the ball, right? They have to step to the ball and not allow him to have the opportunity to play. And then you have to be able to track on the weak side of the ball in on that back post and see that wide open player that's joining into the attack. Nagbe's job is to deter those players, draw the attention to himself so he can lay a nice little ball off. And he's a national team player. He's great at that.
And now Atlanta coming alive, both on the field and off the field. Their supporters have traveled here in the thousands. They had packed the bars around this Germantown stadium. They may not even be able to see the stadium right now or the field, and they couldn't be happier about it. 2-1 to Atlanta. Still an opportunity here for Nashville. They have not been completely quiet in this half. Obviously the goal, but they've had some other chances as well. But this is the tricky spot. They cannot continue to pass the ball right down the gut of the pitch on the defensive end. How cool is this atmosphere? Can you believe this? This is Nashville.
It is Nashville, and Nashville is a soccer city, and I've said that from the day I moved into town. This is a soccer city. Bring us the games, bring us the team, and Nashville will respond. And look at this place.
Over 5,000 season tickets sold here in Nashville. A stadium that hosts or can hold up to 10,000 fans. They have packed the concourse for this one as well. And credit to Atlanta. They didn't have to come to this game. It's not a favor necessarily because they're getting a good competition, but they didn't walk into an easy environment. Obviously, they couldn't pick the weather conditions either, but how cool is it that they decided to come and open this? It would be great if Nashville opened with an MLS team. It's even better that they opened with their future run. If this is Sporting Kansas City, the LA Galaxy, yeah, that's got some name, but Atlanta United versus Nashville, Atlanta versus Music City. It's as good as it gets.
Absolutely, and a credit to Atlanta. They put themselves on the road early in preseason against a very excited young USL team in Nashville Soccer Club. They put themselves in a situation where they would have to feel a bit of pressure, and they'd have to show some adversity, and boy, have they ever.
Mikey Ambrose in for Atlanta. Dangerous cross to Grafenreich, taps it back, and it's 3-1.
And just like that,
The goal scorer, Romario Williams. It's a simple tap in the five stripes humming.
That hurt.
Again, the center of the pitch giving Nashville a problem. The wet surface. The cross from the goal scorer, Vasquez. And there it is. A simple finish in the end for Williams, who's fighting for a roster spot, and that will help. He put himself in the perfect position for the rebound. That
was just really unfortunate. There's a great 1v1 battle going right there on the flank, and we just ended up on the ground, and the service came across, and that clearance has to bypass that first line of defenders. It was so easy, and Grafenreich left it right at the foot of that player, and it put it right in the back of the net. There was no pressure on him at all, and quite frankly, Cochran had already been committed, and he was on the ground.
Williams, the 23-year-old from Portmore, Jamaica, was named after famous Brazilian player Romario. So he's been destined to be a goal scorer since birth.
And that he is today.
And is there more here for Atlanta? Player you want to watch if you're a Nashville fan. If you're Atlanta, you certainly know his name. It's number 30 in red, who snuck in during the break. It's Andrew Carlton, 17-year-old from right outside Atlanta. He's no longer in high school. The way it works in youth soccer these days, you can get your GED and then you become a full-time player. And Carlton looking to break into this first team unit. If he doesn't, he'll probably play for Atlanta's USL team, which we'll see later this season at First Tennessee Park. And there's a foul in the middle of the pitch as Ian McGrath has been brought in for Nashville. The final substitution. Gary Smith has emptied the bench. And after a scoreless first half, the fireworks have come out. Hume. Too far for Akinyoti. Substitutions have been coming in really at all moments, after goals, at timeouts, at halftime. It's hard to keep track of them all, but by my count, I don't see a single starter still out there for Atlanta. And for Nashville, the starters have long since receded to the bench. Nashville SC's next match and USL home opener will be Saturday, March 24th. Tickets to be a part of this historic event are included in season ticket packages. Single game tickets to see Nashville SC in its USL debut will be available at NashvilleSC.com on February 14th. A good Valentine's present there.
Exactly what I would want for Valentine's Day.
You already have season tickets.
And the best.
You walked into the stadium with 8 tickets.
I did. I'm a true fan. I am a true fan. I bought a lot of tickets to Nashville Soccer Club opening game. And then I end up in the box calling it. So I have a lot of friends that have enjoyed the game.
In their ponchos while we stay dry.
True.
And it's been everything you could want. You wondered, about the talent gap. And I think we've seen it more with the second teams than we did with the first, because when both first teams were out, it was a rather even game. But Nashville got the goal. They got the moment. The crowd got to get into it. They embraced each other. The smoke came out. The celebrations. I mean, it's everything we've wanted. And we got it. And it's not guaranteed.
And what a moment it was.
Is there another one in this, though? Could come from either side. Almost don't want this day to end, Ronnie. 82nd minute. Can you tell Atlanta travels? Credit to them. They have added to this atmosphere. Turnover in the midfield. Williams trying to dance his way around Doyle. Sprayed to the far sideline. Andrew Wheeler-Aminu. Kratz. Lob towards Vasquez. Doyle got ahead to it. It's going to die in the water. Chris Goslin in a battle with Galvao, and Goslin one out, but a foul call.
I love that Cochran just made that last-second save right there. Although the whistle had been blown, a goalkeeper never wants the ball to touch the back of his net. And so he did everything he could to get a little touch around the bar on that one. Nashville's really struggled in the second half dealing with the flank play of Atlanta. A lot of their goal-scoring opportunities have come from their width.
And the substitutes have played so well for Tata Martino. The second half looks so different than the first half. The first was cagey affair, lots of big challenges. The second half obviously has been more high scoring, but been more free flowing as well.
There's been a little bit more of a rhythm established that we talked about wasn't in the first half. Even though the field conditions are pretty poor, it seems like both halftime speeches spoke to their team about, controlling what you can control. Stay in the moment, stay present, deal with the ball, understand it could be a difficult surface, and just play.
Halftime speeches, your favorite?
I do love halftime.
Don't love the pregame, though.
I do not love the pregame. The hype up pregame. I much prefer talking at halftime and then postgame.
Get all three on the broadcast now.
Lucky me.
Carlton trying to turn. Bang by Doyle, and Hume is the target at center forward. So if you're a new soccer supporter here in Nashville, don't look at this result and think that because this is an expansion club that it should have a weak season. That is not the case. This is probably the most talented team in America in Atlanta. Nashville's starting 11 held them scoreless through 45 minutes. And then Nashville is never going to see a team like this in the USL. Atlanta has a player in Ezequiel Barco that they bought for $15 million. There is not a single team in the USL that will spend $15 million on a player, and probably not even their entire roster. And Nashville hung with them. And a chance for more as Tucker Hume running in. Tucker Hume, the big striker! His chance to shine in the downpour. And Hume nearly with Nashville's second. The big forward, he's tough to move off the ball. Just kind of too far out from under his feet.
His last touch took him a little bit away from goal, and he was reaching for that touch. Really, if he had kept that ball low, that makes the goalkeeper have to make a decision and leave his feet. Putting it high, even though he didn't have to, the goalkeeper could have gotten a hand on that. To go back to your point about not seeing anyone like Atlanta United on our schedule this year, this is a great test for our team. This is exactly what Coach Smith needs to be able to dissect it and move forward. We couldn't have had a better learning experience than what we have right now.
The neat thing is that this rivalry is not just going to go quiet, because Atlanta this year will be fielding ATL 2, which is their second team. There's several players on the field right now that will face that man's team, Gary Smith. Atlanta has a lot of backups in that will probably play for that second team in USL. And Nashville will have ATL 2 later on this season and at this stadium. So don't think that the rivalry is just going to go away after this friendly. Just a few more months and we're going to fire it back up. Both supporters groups have stayed through the entirety of this total pool party, as we said earlier. There they are. It's been a special day. They got the moment. They got the goal. The jerseys were unveiled. This is a game that I don't think I'll ever forget. I know the result, not what Nashville fans wanted, probably what Atlanta fans expected. And over 9,000 fans confirmed. They sold it out at over 10,000. You lose just 1,000 in a 50-degree downpour in February.
Well, I can tell you two of them that we lost. One was my husband and my son, who are both watching it on TV right now. They were not going to brave the weather, and unfortunately my son's under the weather too. So they're just helping our watcher viewership.
Here's a through ball. Near opportunity as we get towards the closing minutes. 88th minute. Perfect place to take your family as well. I know once they get healthy, you'll have a better opportunity to do that, but Atlanta looking for more. It's Vasquez who's been great this second half. Vasquez low angle and a sliding stop.
Really good determination. Last minute tackle to stop that ball from being served across the 6.
It's Jordan Dunston in his first professional season and his first professional game with the stop. Cochran never had to make a save. Coca-Cola corner coming up from Andrew Carlton, the youngest American pro to have ever started a USL match. 16 years old. Must be nice to have a player like that.
16 years old, he probably just got his driver's license. And here he is, a professional athlete.
No, he already got his GED, so prom is out of the question.
And he's smart.
17 now. And this is where American soccer is headed. 17-year-olds being full professionals. Carlton has space.
And there's the youngster.
Takes it quickly. 90th minute. Is there one more in this one? The Atlanta supporters imploring their team for just another tally on the road. Carlton, Andrew Carlton, that's weekend loose and just missing. Was the crashing in Jose Hernandez in his debut.
Hernandez at the right place at the right time. He just, again, unfortunate, got the ball caught up under him, just put it wide.
Carlton, the provider, and Hernandez nearly with the finish. Both of those players feature for their youth national teams. Hernandez played in the U20 World Cup final for Venezuela this year. Last minutes from a special day. Let's just take it in and enjoy it. There will never be another first. It'll be a special, exciting, emotional season here in Nashville.
That's true. I think John and I have smiled throughout the whole game.
It was more than a friendly. It was a rivalry in full bloom. Nashville got the goal. It had the big moment. Atlanta will come away with the victory. Just 1 minute of stoppage time. But all around, a great day for soccer in Music City. In the downpour, the fans showed up. They screamed their hearts out. And there is more to come.
And there it is.
That's it. Atlanta 3 and Nashville 1. The five stripes take it over the six strings. There's the goal scorer, Ropapa Mensah. His name forever etched in the history books of this club. The first goal scorer. He will score many more for this team when they face USL competition. And the MLS squad of Atlanta does what people expected them to do. They got their 3 goals. They competed, they brought their stars, and those fans, they deserved this game. They have waited so long for this moment. They got an MLS team on their home pitch. They got to celebrate the first goal in club history, and they have an entire season to look forward to. Andrew Carlton, the teenager, one of the late subs for Atlanta. Both teams made ample substitutions. And now we reveal our man of the match. It's our Budweiser man of the match, voted on by you, and it is no other than Ropapa Mensah. The goal scored in the 64th minute. The feed from Alan Wynn. Cool as you like on that finish. Little dink over the goalkeeper can. And there is the moment. The one kick that really solidified this dream of soccer. that has now descended upon Nashville. It is reality. Smiles abound. Full preseason still to come for Nashville SC. They will head to Florida, but first they will soak in this moment with their supporters. Final from First Tennessee Park. It's Atlanta United 3 and Nashville SC 1 in the inaugural match in Music City. What a day it was. The dream realized. The fans can touch the players. They can hug them. Martin Galvao, the former youth player for Nashville, embracing the supporters on what was a special day at First Tennessee Park. Not the result that the supporters wanted, as Atlanta United takes it 3-1 over Nashville in the first game in Nashville SC history. We welcome you back to the press box here at First Tennessee Park. Alongside Ronnie Woodard, I'm John Freeman. Ronnie, the former coach at Vanderbilt. And Ronnie, what a moment it was. What a day it was. The downpour couldn't keep over 9,000 fans away. When you look back at this day, tomorrow, in years, in decades, what will you think?
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to remember the score. I'm going to remember the environment. I'm going to remember the fans. I'm going to remember the individual talent and what a fantastic goal we scored and how this team fought back with 1-0 down to tie the game. It's monumental. And to quote a friend of mine that I talked to earlier today, it's epic.
Absolutely. I mean, the weather conditions certainly played a factor in this. But when we look back, the two starting 11s, both teams fielded their best sides. And Nashville hung with Atlanta in the first half. 45 minutes of soccer and not a single goal. What was Nashville doing so well?
Nashville was fighting. They were working. They're trying to figure out who they are as a team. And when we talked to Coach Smith, his big thing was creating a team culture. He wants to have a blueprint to build on moving forward, and I thought that they did a fantastic job of that in the first half and in the second half. Although we lost 3-1, I feel like we made some major steps as an organization today.
And we'll take a look at the highlights. It was a slip and slide out there. The first half was back and forth. The challenges came flying in, and, well, there was the first goal from Joseph Martinez. The weather playing a factor in that one, the ball sitting on the turf.
The weather was a factor in a lot of the goals today. If you look at how the bounce just stopped on the turf, it was difficult to deal and difficult to see where the ball was going to be.
There's the goal from Ropapa Mensah, the feed from the new signing Alan Wynn, and then that cool, calm, and collected touch from the Ghanaian 20-year-old who's expected to be a star on this team, and then Atlanta really poured it on at the end, getting 2 goals.
You know what I love the most? After Mensah scored that goal, he patted his chest and the Nashville SC logo. He's been here 1 week, and he already feels that tremendous sense of pride in his organization. I think that is amazing.
It's the goals from Vasquez and then Romario Williams to cap it off. The stats not as lopsided that some people may think going in. I mean, Atlanta was expected to really pour it on here. The highest scoring team in MLS last year, and then all those expensive signings. They can only muster 11 shots. Nashville was 6 of their own. This is a Nashville team that did not back down. They stayed true to what they said they were going to do, which was press and try and compete in this game offensively and not just hunker down.
They did a great job of putting a lot of numbers behind the ball. They stayed compact and very organized, and they made sure that Atlanta did everything that they had to do to disrupt our defensive shape. And I thought they did a really nice job of forcing Atlanta into changing how they played.
Still much more to be unpacked here from First Tennessee Park. We will talk with Nashville SC Technical Director Mike Jacobs. He's up in studio. The fans still don't want to leave this stadium. It's a special day. I don't blame them for wanting to stay. 3-1 Atlanta. Back at First Tennessee Park, the supporters embracing the boys in gold who fought hard. They tied it at 1-1, and then Atlanta United takes it in the end with 2 late goals in the second half. As we welcome you back to our broadcast booth, John Freeman and Ronnie Woodard, and we are sandwiching Mike Jacobs, the technical director here at Nashville SC. You seemed dry. You stayed out of the wet weather, but Mike, talk us through what today was like.